Good morning. Good morning. How we doing? Hope you all had a wonderful, wonderful weekend. Kirk Townsend, Miss Darth Vader, Bones trades. How you guys doing? What is going on? Laura, Tess, Algo, CC, Media. How we doing? How are we doing? Here's the schedule for today, right? Today's a little tricky. Pre-market topics. All right. I'm going to go over our bias for the day. We're going to go over any news. I don't really think there is any. And then we're going to go over some key POIs. Wait. Boom. That's what we're going to cover before 9:30. So we'll let people trickle in. But it is May 4th. If you're a Star Wars fan, May the 4th be with you. I used to be obsessed with Star Wars. Used to be obsessed. Still kind of am, honestly. Not obsessed, but I appreciate a good, Star Wars Lego set. But I hope you guys had a wonderful weekend. We're at all-time highs again on NASDAQ. What's up, Mario? Yeah, Tyler, you can't hate on Star Wars. Thomas, Boomer, Mauricio, Don Champ. Yeah, I think they're coming out with a new season of The Mandalorian, or maybe it's a movie. But a little bit tricky of a morning, because if you look at the daily chart right here, we've swept out previous day high on NQ, made new all-time highs. ES hasn't. We had the sell-off here. Candle 2 closure on Friday. He had the sell-over, or sorry, gap up, sell-off. Kind of gapped up a little bit on YM, sold off. This is a lot cleaner. Just the overall close and the structure for shorts here on YM. In Q, we have SMT at this high, marked out here by the indicator. So, yeah. It's just you had this wick, this move down, sweeping out these lows into this imbalance here in the 1 hour. Same here, swept out lows. And you've put in this nice wick here on these assets. And even here a little bit. This looks like the weaker one so far, pre-market. Stronger, somewhere in the middle, as usual. But there's a 1 hour imbalance here. I think it's going to be key for us this morning. And if you look at, just the overall trend, I mean, once we hit all-time highs, we just kind of started to consolidate a bit. It hasn't been the cleanest one-sided, like up moves, but we're still in this direction, right? Higher time frame wise, 4 hour imbalance here. So personally, we're kind of getting into what I want to talk about, which is bias. Our bias is still bullish. Even though we had this candle 2 closure here, we kind of violated it on NASDAQ, right? Didn't have that closure. So if you're looking to short the day just off pre-market and daily closures and all that, I would say look to short YM. That's been the theme. But looking to long, like I am, I want to focus on NASDAQ. And obviously we'll monitor ES to make sure that there's no cleaner setup on this asset, right? Sometimes you might get that. But I think this 1 hour imbalance and off this 4 hour one that's kind of holding here, you're seeing it be put in. This is just a retracement to go higher. That's kind of what I'm thinking. But we'll see. This bounce is going to be key for us right here. Yeah. You had this candle 2 closure here on the hourly. We're looking at a 5-minute here, but we haven't confirmed it, right? We didn't close below the series of up close candles. We actually wicked it. So I think that bullish structure is still intact on the 4-hour, on the 1-hour even, somewhat. So it's a little tricky. It's a Monday with no news, but zooming out kind of gives you a better picture, right? Off this imbalance right here. So I'm bullish bias today. I think the poll, we got 26 votes. 69% of you are also bullish. So that's my bullish theory today. We'll close the poll. So that's bias. We covered that. News. There is none. There's no news. May 4th. Tuesday. We have kind of a decent week. You know, it's NFP on Friday. But we have some news. 10 o'clock tomorrow. Some like lighter stuff in the week. Wednesday, Thursday. And then Friday, you have that NFP at 8:30. So that's news. And then key POIs, I kind of touched on it. We talked about the daily closures. Let me make this. We talked about the daily closures, right? Gapped up on the daily here on NASDAQ. Yes, same thing, but we've kind of dipped into this daily imbalance here. We're reacting out of it. Same thing with YM, although that's the weakest one. We talked about this high, previous week's high that was taken out. Closure off that. But now you have these equal highs up here off this daily imbalance. So we want to see how we close here on YM. Could have a candle 2 closure for upside for the rest of the week, you know? And it makes sense to kind of have a deeper retracement on YM. It's been the weakest one. It's not even all-time highs yet, like NQ and ES. But you're seeing this imbalance on the daily. And all I'm thinking is, okay, we need to see if this holds. And if it does, this is just a pullback to start the week to create that wick on the weekly candle and also monthly candle to go higher. So we want to see how today closes for sure. If it closes bullish across in YM here, candle 2 closure, bullish, and ES off this imbalance, that's going to give me bullish bias for the rest of the week. You know, hopefully for our classic expansion week where we expand to the upside Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. And then maybe even look for a TGIF TGIF's short setup on Friday. So we need to monitor the closures. But now you can kind of see how I'm using the weekly profiles, daily profiles to kind of get a bias going into the rest of the week. But it all kind of depends where like Monday kind of sets the week up. And if you can't really get a good read or good closure on Monday, then you're just going to keep waiting, right? But if we get a good closure today, you can kind of tell us early on, like, okay, give us some confidence that we're going to go higher for the rest of the week. But yeah, I'm picky on Mondays as well. So POIs, that's the daily chart. Glance at the weekly real quick, make sure we're not missing anything. And you also have this candle 2 closure off. Oh, it's kind of an indecision candle. It's not the best, but we did dip into this weekly imbalance. And what did price do originally? It actually consolidated for the week, then went lower, right? So closed at the highs, right? Or kind of above the opening for the week. So we manipulated the low, this consolidation, weekly imbalance hit, reverse out of that, V-shaped recovery, right? And you're kind of seeing this like retracement. Bar 4, I think we just run all these highs out over here. So that's why I am. Same thing, I talked about this imbalance here on NQ, 4-hour imbalance, sweeping out lows at the same time, failure swings being taken out. And we now need to pay attention to this hourly imbalance here. That's going to be key. Is this going to be inverted around maybe 10 o'clock? Or is this going to hold price Make it go lower. We need to see. Good thing with ES for this imbalance here. What's it gonna do? We're gonna invert that to go higher, or is this thing going to kind of just chop, or are we gonna kind of get that reversal to go a little, maybe sweep this low out? That's what we're watching. That's what I'm watching at least. There's a tiny imbalance here on YM, but I'm more focused on longs today. I've tagged it blue. I want to see how we react here. Yeah, and you got SMT at these lows, as the investment biker is saying. That just goes to show like the strength on NQ versus everything else, higher time frame wise. So we'll keep this stuff marked out. But this imbalance will be key for us this morning. Daily profile wise, you can maybe argue that it's like London kind of reversal to go lower, just sweeping out this consolidation, open up, take out some highs, and then reverse, right? But I need to figure out what this news candle was. 6 a.m. in the chat, Mario says at 6 a.m. there was a news that Iran has hit U.S. warship, which made that bearish news at 6:30, and then the U.S. denied it. So you had that bounce back. So maybe Trump will talk about it, like he says, about some volatility. But without even looking at the news, it kind of looks like consolidation, manipulate the low on that news to go higher, right, into this 4-hour POI. So I'm kind of viewing this for the bullish scenario. Like this kind of just looks like maybe a New York manipulation, honestly, where we manipulate external range to then move higher in the true direction. And then if you look at the ADR, final thing, you see we hit the ADR. Kind of came up and hit the 33% for the fake move and then went lower, right? But in a news-driven market, I say it every day, I'm not placing too much emphasis on this because we've blown right through it in multiple days. All it takes is one tweet to just send us. This is just the average of the last 5 days. That's pretty much it. We covered bias, why I'm bullish still, covered news. The bias is a little tricky today, but we covered the news. There is none. Some stuff later in the week, and then POIs. I talked about the imbalances, the daily imbalances, the 4-hour, these 1-hour ones. They're going to be key for the morning. Pretty much it. Yeah, exactly. The 4-hour looks very bullish. Like, why would you want to fade this? Just get on side. You're already seeing it react out of this. When in doubt, zoom out. So far, so good. I think also we're going to do a giveaway at the end. Going to give away another indicator subscription to the T-Trades fractal model indicator that paints the lovely setups on our chart, right? I don't have to draw anything. You can just flip through charts real quickly. Let it paint. So we'll give away that at the end of the stream. So if you're new here, stay to the end. Don't forget to subscribe because we're going to continue to do giveaways. I mentioned 28,000. It's a big fig. We went from 27 down here. We're close to 28. Another week, another dollar, as Louis says. So yeah, just about kind of waiting now for the open. We got about 13 minutes. So but obviously, yeah, it's fun. The more you guys come to these streams, you're going to realize my process, right? I've literally just listed it out. Some bias, look at the news, look at the POIs, get a good read on like those things. And then I come to my split chart, which is on my other monitor here, but I'll have it here for you guys. To get a good read on like which assets are stronger, which ones are weaker so far pre-market. and then we watch the open and then reevaluate, you know? And that's going to give me an idea of which one I want to trade with my bias. Because, like, I don't want a long weakness, right? I'd rather long strength. I want a short weakness, right? But I don't want a long weakness. So this is now where I get into, like, okay, which one pre-market looks stronger? Which one looks weaker? Where do I want to be? And then once it opens at 9:30, the market, that's when I'll look for the asset I want to trade, you know, because they can flip-flop. It's a tricky market right now. Mario says, honestly, what I value the most is your calm approach before, during, and after the trade. Helps to my psychology, so thanks. No problem, bro. It's just reps, honestly. And being, like, grounded in your process. Because you know that, like, one trade isn't going to make or break your trading career unless you let it, right? Unless you're oversizing, you let it affect you and go on tilt, right? Your career is more than just one trade, 1 week, 1 day, you know, 1 month even. It's all about how long can you stay in the game and not blow up to get the exposure, like the chart time or screen time, the experience, right? That's just the name of the game. But in the beginning, you're just trying to figure out, like, what kind of strategy fits you personality wise. Like me, I don't like to swing. I'd rather just get in and out every day. Because if I have position on, like, overnight throughout the day, I'm constantly checking it. Can't be present in the moment. So that's just me. But if you guys liked the analysis this morning, drop a like. I think we're at 25 likes. And it's not even, market's not even open yet. So appreciate you guys. If you enjoy the analysis every morning, I know some people have reached out and they're like, dude, I love the analysis because I do my analysis in the morning and then I come and watch your stream and it's like, I like to see that we're aligned, right? Or maybe we're not aligned and I missed something. Or maybe we're conflicting on the day, you know? But it's nice to kind of give yourself a chance to do the analysis on your own, then come sit down at the stream or rewatch it later after the session's over and see what I was thinking compared to what you were thinking. No, I did not trade a Friday. We watched. We didn't take a setup, though. The only setup was the 15-minute, like, NASDAQ. Right here. You're going to have this London reversal here. And then you had this closer above this 15-minute. But I didn't want to enter right at 9 o'clock or 9:30, you know? I didn't expect it to pump that hard. But I called it out, right? I was like, you could enter here, stop here, and just hold through the open. But personally, I don't like entering, like, right before 9:30. Did not expect that move either. That was, like, the only trade for the day. And you see we kind of expanded and then just chopped the rest of the day. And now we've kind of manipulated this consolidation to the low, right? Just picking up where we left off, man. Expansion. What's the phase of price? Consolidation. Manipulate external range low for more expansion. Just picking up where we left off. Now we're watching these POIs to see what it wants to do. What's up, Jagser? Doing good, man. As for the other assets, we talked about indices. That's pretty much all I'm. Yeah, and, like, Friday was tricky. You could have maybe, people were arguing, like, oh, we could get a TGIF, you know, back into the range setup. But you got to remember the weekly profile was a midweek reversal. Like, go back to the 4-hour. The weekly profile was a midweek reversal here on, like, right here is better on Wednesday, right? And then you look to expand through Thursday and Friday versus a classic expansion week. You reverse on Monday. You expand. You're sorry. The low of the week is put in Monday or Tuesday. And you expand through Thursday, and then Friday you can put in that upper wick on the weekly candle, right? And get a retracement back in. But that's when the classic expansion weeks. That's when you're more likely to get a retracement on Friday to cap off the week. So the weekly profile really didn't align with a TGIF back into the range setup. So that's why I was like looking for longs, but like you said, it's conflicting. Didn't really have a lot of confidence in that opening drive long on Friday. We spotted it, just didn't take it. I'm sure some people in the stream took it, but we got 6.5 minutes until open. I haven't really done much, right? Up these lows, and we're kind of just consolidating around this imbalance. So I really need to see how this hourly candle closes, around 10 maybe. So I don't see anything pre-market that I like. Only thing I'm keeping in mind is that we hit this 4-hour imbalance here, swept out consolidation lows. I think that's the green light to maybe go higher. And we're back in 50% of this range, you know, kind of just chopping around. Yeah, just waiting it out. As Tyler says, nothing clear. Also, those wondering about the Discord could easily just sell off right on Monday to put in low of the week and then close bullish to end of the day. You never know. We really need to see like what today wants to do. It kind of sets the stage for the rest of the week for the way I trade. And there's no news, right? The only real time you'll get a setup on Monday is if Friday closes nicely, you know. So like ES, you had that candle 2 closure here and here on YM, and so if you have like a nice clean closure on Friday, you can look for a setup on Monday, you know, even if there is no news. The only thing that's tripping me out is that the bullish structure is still there. You're hitting this daily imbalance and the 4-hour imbalance as we talked about, and you have now S&T at these highs because NQ is stronger, right? We already swept previous day high. So, and you already had this kind of thing. The reason I don't like shorts either is because you kind of already had that move to the downside off that 6 o'clock news. We closed back inside the range now, so kind of just looking like manipulation to go higher with this wick here. Did I watch the 7-hour video? No, I did not. But I basically know what the 7-hour candles are, right, and how to use them. But I'll make sure to watch that. Shout out AM. What was I saying? Oh, the Discord. Yeah, the Discord's pretty much built. It's not open yet. Just me and like one other person in there right now. It's free. But I haven't opened it up yet, put any links or anything, because I'm still like trying to build a few bots in there to make my life easier and your guys' life easier. So still getting those built out. A few other things worked on. I'm hoping it'll be ready by the end of the week. That's the goal. Franny Lucci, I'm assuming I'm saying that right, asks, hey, I got a question. I'm currently in university and I've been trading for about 2 years. I feel pressure to become profitable before I graduate, but I think that pressure is working against me. Any advice? Pressure to be profitable. Why? Because you want to trade full time, or because you're just like putting that hard like goal? Like, I want to graduate and be profitable. Is that just like a goal you have, or you want to trade full time right out of college or university? Because like you can still be profitable, but you can't like just because you're profitable. Like, do you have the capital to support yourself? Like, it depends on what your goals are. You know, because you can always go out of university, get a job, and that job's going to pay your bills and take the pressure off you, right? Because if you're have no money and you're looking at trading to like feed yourself every month, you know, with pay your bills and all that, you have no other money coming in or like don't have money saved up. So that's going to put a lot of pressure on you to perform. Just added pressure you don't want. Because you want to be able to sit here and not take a trade. Like, I can sit here and not take a trade for a week. I've done it before on stream. Like when I like the very first like week I started streaming, I don't think we took a single trade. Because the market was ass. But if you're feeling that pressure to push the button, it's going to make you want to FOMO in. Or get antsy, right? And you'll start taking trades just to take trades to try and make something happen. To like force your will in the market. And that's going to end up losing you money, right? Because you're not waiting for your setup. You're like not trading your system anymore. It's like, what good is having an edge in the market if you don't use it? You know? All right, we got 40 seconds until open. And if you miss my analysis, I see some people always like to jump in right before the open. You're missing the best part of the stream, which is the part where we go over bias, why I'm a certain bias for the day, POIs we're looking at, news that could affect the market, daily profiles, weekly profiles that could be setting up. You're missing the best part. The best part is going to make you an independent trader. If you're just coming in here right at 9:30 to copy trade, you're doing yourself a disservice. Just being honest. All right, market's open. Again, we're watching this 1 hour imbalance. Probably 10 o'clock is going to be the key for any setups we get. We'll see how, at 10 o'clock, how the 4 hour closes. This candle here. We'll see how the 1 hour closes. And also a 30-minute closure. Maybe even a 15. But that's why 10 o'clock's so nice. Let's watch how we open, right? We want to kind of see. We know we're kind of stronger on NQ overall. We want to see intraday as well, what the strength and weakness is looking like, so we can kind of pick the correct asset to trade. I feel like I'm dropping nuggets and like gold nuggets like back to back this morning, like coming in hot. Maybe that's just me though. I don't know. No problem, Franny. Yeah, we didn't really talk about other assets. I'm not really interested in those. I mean, you kind of had this like indecision candle, still candle 2 closure, but it took a minute to finally close all the way back down here. And you now you have these lows, and we've been targeting on gold. You know, we've been talking about like the buy side, sell side of the curve. A weekly low down here. You have this low down here. So swept this high, closure back in the range, and we're selling off now. So I'm still bearish on gold. It's just kind of already moved a lot overnight. And yeah, ADR, we've blown by it. So back to indices though, because that's what everyone cares about. I think most people here are trading indices, right? Let me know in the chat. Everyone in here, are you trading mostly indices? Or does everyone kind of dabble around like I do? Obviously, I go from top to bottom, like highest priority. I like indices the best, then gold, and silver maybe. But then some oil, since it's moving kind of nice right now. And then lastly, like I might swing some forex overnight. Very rare. So top priority, lowest priority down here for me. If I'm touching Forex, it's usually like on an hourly chart, like entering and holding overnight. Boomer says, whatever is clearest, man. Honestly, I agree. That's why I kind of look around. I like to shop around. Do some window shopping. What is for a giveaway today? Man, you won the last giveaway. We're going to give away an indicator subscription. 1 free month of the fractal model indicator here. And I also have some giveaway stuff planned for Discord as well. We got some stuff in the works. I'm just building out like a giveaway bot and some other stuff to make my life easier. It's going to take a little bit, but all the channels and everything are already built. It's just need to get some like moderation bots in there and stuff to make my job easier. Might be your lucky day. Shoot, Jaxer came in for the first time ever on Friday and goes, I want to win the giveaway. And then we ran the giveaway and he won. First day in here. Jaxer says, I like the stream. If you haven't liked the stream yet, you should do the same. It's very rare that I'm trading also like gold and oil, like below a 5-minute chart as well. I think people were talking about it in the chat. I've gotten like a 3-minute setup on gold before, but it's got to be moving real nice. Let's see, man. We've opened up, haven't really done much. 5-minute chart, kind of just still in this consolidation. Right? If you look, basis of price, I know this isn't, we haven't really like reversed hard off this low, but like 5-minute expansion met with expansion back into the range. Kind of characteristic of a reversal. Now we kind of want to see like on a 5-minute, how do we react like in this consolidation? Do we sweep the lows and go higher? Or do we kind of just close below and then continue to make a new low day? It's kind of what I'm thinking now. Off this imbalance, right? And some people, they might get bored me sitting here watching an hourly chart, but it's like, you don't want to get caught pattern trading on these lower time frames when the higher time frames aren't aligned yet or giving you a reason to drop lower. Like I sit on these higher time frames until they give me a reason to drop lower. Yeah, use the code. Maybe even tomorrow. I don't know if we're going to get a setup today. We could. But go redeem the 100% off tomorrow when we might have some good setups. And by the way, I'm just using default settings on this thing. I haven't changed a single thing on here. The only stuff I've changed indicator-wise is when I hop between like some templates here. I have it where the daily candles over here stay daily, even on a smaller time frame. And it paints the ADR for me, so I can kind of see like what's happened for the day so far in relation to the daily candle. That's pretty much it. You can set these up pretty easily. You just go to here, indicator templates, and save whatever settings you have. And you can easily swap between them right here. So if you're wondering what those are, that's what it is. You can just set it up like I have a clean chart with nothing on it. Automatic bias here, and then my ADR kind of like set up. It all just depends on what your workflow is for the morning. That's what works best for me. Oil I was bearish on until we kind of just ran up, swept up previous day high, an outside day. But you're seeing a nice reaction off these highs right here. Damn, this would have been a good like kind of like a turtle soup entry right here. Off these equal highs. because this high in theory is protected, right? Right here. So you could enter like right at the sweep of these highs. Look to target equal lows. That's another way. I'm just trying to get better entering it is like just buying highs and lows. Also, what you can do is if it starts to push past this high, put a stop. So if we make the body's full up at the highs, and then it starts to kind of create that wick like it does here and comes back down, you can enter in on a stop at that high as it comes down and it gets you in, then closes, and then dumps, right? There's plenty of ways to enter those types of trades. That way you're giving it a chance. If it wants to just, the body's full here and just keep running, you're not just blindly buying it or selling it that high. Give it a chance to run, and if it starts to come back down and create that wick, that's when you get in, right? There's plenty of ways to hop in a trade. My buddy David showed me that. Because he likes to enter those are like his bread and butter setups. Shout out David. Got to give credit where credit is due. All right. We're pretty much just waiting for 10 a.m. And so far, strength weakness wise, I mean, you're still seeing kind of why I'm a little fuller on this hourly candle off the open. We've wicked down here a little bit at open on NQ, but we're still in this consolidation. You know, we're sweeping the low here. Haven't swept it here. So let's see. The No News Monday, where the daily structure is a little tricky. Or in these, I mean, the 4-hour structure is just still bullish all around. We retraced a lot of this move here on YM. We still have all these highs over here to take out, equal highs. So let's see. How are you using ADR? Let me rephrase that. How are you using ADR? So the ADR, I don't place too much emphasis on it when we're in a news-driven environment like we are now, because we can easily just blow past it, right? Or fill one side of it, like off a tweet, you know? So it's just a nice confluence tool to maybe get a read on. If it's a typical normal day, you'll like to see the daily profile align with it. So like, let's say today is bearish. You want to see maybe a London reversal be put in. So the high of the day be put in at the 33%, which you can see it respects it really nice here. And then you get the move for the day, right? To the other side, to the full daily range the past 5 days. So it literally played out to a T here to the downside pre-market. Generally, if this is going to be a manipulation, you want to see us sweep out like some lows, right? Manipulate to the 33%. That's the Judas swing to now hit the other side of the ADR. We basically did the opposite this morning. So that's how I use it level wise, but it's also just a nice barometer or measuring tool to kind of see what kind of moves are plausible for today when you're not in a news driven environment like we are. Like what realistically, how much more room do we have on the day to expand? That's all I'm trying to do is capture a piece of the daily expansion. Because like you don't want to be aiming for like 1,000 points higher when the day's already expanded, you know, for the average of the last 5 days, because that's not realistic. It can also keep you from like taking trades in like a choppy environment. Because if we've already kind of hit the ADR for the day, and now we're just back inside the range consolidating, kind of just, and there's no news today. You kind of can see how you piece all these pieces together. And they're going to tell you to stay out or participate that day. The ADR, it's just the indicator's called Average range levels pro by 2 degrees. I need to create like a script. I'm gonna do that after this stream, where you can just type, exclamation point indicator or indicators or whatever, and it's gonna just give you links to all the indicators I use. That way I don't have to keep answering the questions, because I get asked the same questions every stream. What's the indicator called? How do you use it? Things like that. So we'll create a command. So far I have socials, trade, Zella, or TZ. I think that's it actually. Just those two. I need to create some more. The YM trade where you traded past ADR, did you use the open as context and how volatile? Yeah, like that, where is longing YM strength on this closure here? When this closed, we hopped in on this new 10 o'clock candle, just wrote it up for 2R. And we'd already expanded for the day. Like, look at this day. Opens here, closes all the way up here. That's a huge range for that day. So basically, I was playing off the volatility, right? At the open, around 10 o'clock. And this thing just looked ready and primed to run that day. And I was just playing off the candle closures too, you know? Some people have trouble like longing as once we've already expanded like this. I'm trading a continuation model. So I'm looking to hop in on some kind of continuation. So we just consolidated, swept the consolidation low in this hourly imbalance, closed bullish. I hopped in on the new expansion candle. And look, reversal candles that reverse off this consolidation here, these hourly candles, they have long wicks. Expansion candles have smaller wicks. So small wick forms. I hop in once the wick is formed. I trade the body. I hop out somewhere near the end. You can do a time-based exit, hop out after an hour, or just take off at fixed R multiples, whatever you want to do. But there was clear targets pending up here that we hadn't hit yet, right? These highs, this high here, right? All these failure swings were targets. And it looks so obvious that it was looking to go and take all those out. And this was such a accumulation, manipulation, distribution move. So when you combine all those things with a daily profile, like you can see how you take all these puzzle pieces each morning by going through your process and doing your analysis. It just gives you confidence. And the fact that on this day here, what was YM doing at 9 o'clock on this day? YM held strong. NQ sold off, right? So I was longing strength and it held really nicely. So hope that helps you like get a better idea of why I longed. And now you're seeing it again, right? You're seeing strength here on NQ. And we're still selling off on YM, ES somewhere in the middle. So I'm really just kind of watching like these external lows. How many indicators do I use total? Literally just 1 or 2, maybe 3. Because all they're doing is super simple. Like this one right here is just a watermark right here. Right? Because it looks better than the one up here. But then I have a daily profile that kind of quickly just paints a few boxes on my chart for Asia, London. And I have the New York one turned off because I'm trading New York. And then just the fractal model indicator, default settings. And then when I want to look at ADR, I just kind of adds the ADR one there and changes a few TTFM settings to the daily candles. And that's it. That's all I do. That's all I do. Keep it simple. I don't have a bunch of stuff on here that makes it so I can't read the price action. And if I really need to, I can just cut everything off and just look at the candles real quick. We're going to give away, like I said, one of these indicator subscriptions today. So stay to the end because we're due at the end. Usually around 11-ish, 11 o'clock. But yeah, not using a lot of indicators, to be honest. Just a few that help me in my analysis. And I either toggle them back off. The only one I really have on most of the time is the TTFM one. It just sits on there and paints the candles for me. Other than that, everything's pretty much off. Any other questions you guys got? Feel free to ask them. We're kind of just waiting 10 more minutes until 10 o'clock. Want to see how this hourly and 4-hour candles close. So far, we're back inside the range for a 4-hour candle 2 closure off this imbalance. But we need to confirm it by closing above this candle's opening price, right? Confirm the change of state delivery. You got SMT on a 15-minute here. When do I take trades before they open? Is there specific criteria? Yeah, we need that inversion. Read again. When do you take trades before they open? Like, is there specific criteria you look for? So mainly, if I'm taking a trade before open, it's going to be on like a 5-minute or 15-minute chart or higher. And I like to hop in like well before the open. That way, it gives price a chance to run in my favor before the open. I can be break even before the open, or at least reduce some risk and hold through the opening volatility. And that volatility is going to push price to my target, right? I don't like to enter right at 9:30 because you can get stopped out on volatility and the idea still be correct. So generally I'm hopping on like a 15-minute or a 5-minute at the lowest, and then just holding through that opening volatility to get out either right before open sometimes, or let the opening volatility push price to my target. And you're going to hop in on a 15-minute based on a 4-hour closure or a 1-hour closure for a 5-minute entry. So if 8 o'clock closes bullish, then I might look for a long, you know? Or if 9 o'clock candle opens up when we close bullish, right? I'll hop in 30 minutes before and I'll ride it through the open. But I'm not entering on like on a 1-minute chart, right at the open. But yeah, we talked about this imbalance. We want to see what we do. Can we invert off sweeping this consolidation low? And we have 8 minutes to do so. Any other questions? Hit me with them. Hit me with the questions. I also plan to stream trading in futures. What is your biggest challenge? Probably balancing like interacting with you guys to like focusing on the charts, and then also like taking L's on stream. It doesn't bother me anymore, but like when I first did my first stream, you feel this pressure to like perform Otherwise, people are like, oh, yeah, this guy doesn't know how to trade, like whatever. End of the day, like it doesn't even matter what people think, because like all that matters is if you have the skill or not. But yeah, like getting over the fact that like you're gonna lose, everyone loses, and losing doesn't make you a loser. You know, your edge is just only so sharp in the market, and there's gonna be things that you can't control. That's why trading's so hard. It's like you can do everything right, and you can still lose. You know, it's just about doing everything right on all the trades you take, and if you have an edge in the market, you're gonna make money long term, right? There's no 100% win rate strategy, and if someone's touting that they have one, then they're lying to you. In Q, 1 hour, 5 minute. What about it? We've just swept both sides of this previous candle. How do you trade a candle 3 that doesn't form a wick? So you do a positional entry, which is exactly what we did on NASDAQ over here. So like we form a very small wick here on Q. Actually, let me just do the other big chart. We hopped in on this. You could even hopped in on a 15-minute here. I'll go back to replay real quick, so you can see the candles paint. So, like right here, we hopped in on a 3-minute. Yeah. So right here, we have a candle 2. It's almost like a candle 2 expansion candle because it kind of expands a bit. Smaller wick off this low. So it opens up, immediately sweeps the previous candle's low, goes back in the range, change state delivery. And then you have this new open right at 10 o'clock, this candle. There's no protected swing that it forms when it forms this wick, right? There's already a protected swing here that's been formed. So what I did was I just entered right at 10 o'clock with the idea that this low right here should stay protected. So right at 10 o'clock, when we confirmed this candle's closure and this one was going to expand, I was looking for the wick to form to trade the body. Entered right at 10 o'clock, stop here, fixed our multiple, right? Projections up there, near there. So that's pretty much it. Just hop in right when the new candle opens, position yourself within it. Because sometimes you don't even get a wick. Sometimes it just opens and runs. So you need to hop in right when it opens. And if there's a protected swing or invalidation point you can put your stop at, that's when you can get a positional entry like that. Then it runs, you know. So if you think price is going to run and not form another protected swing and there's already one to the left, just use that for your stop, like this. That's what I did. Boom. And you can go back and watch my most recent YouTube video. It's literally a live execution of me literally hopping in this trade and managing it. So go back and watch that. In fact, I'll put a link to it in the chat. Or there's a link that says watch more in this description of this video, this live stream. There's literally a link that says watch more, and it's the first video on there is Thursday's trade. Here's a link to that video. As price, Mario said, people commenting about price are confused or disturb your opinion. Nah. That's one reason why Discords can be dangerous, because if you're like new and you don't have confidence in your analysis, then other people are going to sway your opinion or your bias, right? But me, like, I've been doing it for so long, I trust myself. And I know that most people lose. So, like, I'm not going to listen to most people at all, right? Also, like, this might sound mean, but it's, well, actually, I'm not going to say it. No, I'm not going to say it. But yeah, there's a link to that video for that trade we just went over in the chat. So if you want to go watch the live execution of it, you can skim through it. It's got chapters, entry, exit, management, all that. I try and add like chapters to those videos where I enter live. That way you can kind of like see, okay, he enters live at this timestamp. He manages and reduces risk at this timestamp. He exits at this timestamp, and then he gives a recap. You know, that's trying to make it easier to watch because I know it's like 30 minutes long. But what I might start doing as well is instead of doing those live executions, because you can go back and in the stream and watch it as well. Maybe just do a recap at the end of the day that's like 8 minutes long or less, where I go top down after the trade's already played out and go through my thought process, right? Top down, like I used to. Because like these videos, like they're an hour, 36 minutes, I started cutting it to right when I enter on these. Like if you look right here, this is like an A+ trade because I have the setup pretty much about, I enter like right here, so I'm in the trade and then it runs, right? And there's chapters, but it's 36 minutes long. What I might start doing again is doing like a 10-minute video or like an 8-minute video where the trade's already played out and I just do my analysis, running through in replay mode what I saw and then show the executions, right? Do you guys like that better? Or do you like the hour-long, 30-minute long videos where I enter live? Let me know. Because I want to make content that you guys are actually going to watch. And if you're not going to sit there and watch a 36-minute video of me hopping in the trade, my thought process of why I manage it, and then exiting, I'd rather make something that's like 5 minutes long, 8 minutes long, going over quickly a recap after the trades happened. So let me know in the chat. And while you guys do that, we just closed above this imbalance. So do you want a recap or do you want a live execution? So you want both. What if you couldn't get both? There's that 4-hour closure as well. Off this imbalance, sweeping lows. I'm going to put a poll out actually, because I actually do want to know. Which video do you prefer? Quick recap. I'll do like 5 to 10 minutes. Quick trade recap. Live trade execution. That'll be like 30 to 1 hour. I just put a poll out because I really want to make stuff that you guys are going to like. Personally, I don't count this as like a candle 2 closer to the upside because this low has not, this swing point that you're trying to trade away from has not hit a POI, right? We didn't make another low, sweep out a low, or dip into an imbalance, on any of these. So I'm not really interested in this. I am interested in like maybe a 15-minute. We got to confirm it. So maybe look for like confirmation to close above, put another projected low here to go higher and enter. This is just a good sign that we could see higher prices. Thought we closed above. But yeah, we got 130 something people in here. Let me know in the poll what would you actually watch? Cause here's the thing. You can go back on the streams and watch the actual live execution, right? So like I'm just reposting that stream moment as a video that's like 30 minutes. So you can go back and watch the live trade execution on the stream. It's automatically uploaded, right? But if you want a quick like analysis of my thought process, breakdown and then showing the executions top down, I can do that in 5 or 10 minutes. So what I might do is do the quick trade recap instead of re-uploading a stream moment as a video, and then just add chapters to my live stream instead. That way you can quickly jump to the live execution on the stream where I entered in if you really want to watch it and hear the whole thought process, and then upload a quick recap as a YouTube video. That might be what I do. Otherwise, I'm just reposting a moment of the stream. Because right now it's 50-50. Pretty much half the people want the live trade execution, which you can get on the stream recap upload, or you can get a quick trade recap that's 5 to 10 minutes. So let me know. Tess says, yeah, this weekend I watched as many of your live streams as I could. I need to like add chapters to those so you can quickly skim through and not have to like, you know, watch the entire thing start to finish. Yeah, people just don't have the attention span to sit there and watch me go through like an hour-long video. And the proof is in the numbers. Like, look at these hour-long videos, 30-minute videos have like 600, 500 views. But if you go to like the ones where I'm like doing the recaps for 10 minutes, 11 minutes, 10 minutes, 8 minutes, they have like 3,000 views, 2,000 views, 2,000 views. So like people see this big number here. They're like, I'm not watching an hour-long video. That's like a movie, you know? And if you really want to get the live execution, what I'm going to do is I'll probably just go back to these and add chapters to those days, right? Add chapters like I have here. And they're in the description as well. And you can just click right here. They pop up on the right. That way you can skip through like live entry, longing YM strength. Boom, I'm entering right there. Managing it, all that. So I'll add those chapters to the live streams. Yeah, I'm not seeing, let's focus up real quick and I'll look at the chat again. See, someone asked me about, you know, they want to stream, like what are the pros and cons of it? The pros are I get to like hang out with you guys. The cons is I can get distracted. And sometimes like get missed setups or get like, see what people are saying in the chat to affect my own analysis. Like those are the cons of it. But I'll be honest, there's not really much I like this morning. We closed candle 2 here on the 4 hour. Typical reversal candle with a long wick. You want to see us put in a smaller wick now on a 4 hour to go higher. And all the 50% of the previous candle is just a mechanical way to measure wick size for the next candle. So you want to see it stay above the 50%, right? You start closing down here, then I'm just anticipating the low to be taken out, you know? So if you're wondering why 50%, that's why I use premium discount. T and I use premium discount a little bit differently. We don't want to see price retrace to a discount. If we're gonna be strong and expand, I want to see it stay above 50%. You know, I don't want a retracement all the way down here. I want to see it stay strong because I'm trading continuation, not reversals. But yeah, like this is kind of just looking. We respected this imbalance here on YM. We closed inside of it here on ES, and we closed above it on NQ. So just, you know, typical strength, weakness, somewhere in the middle over here. Let me look at the chat. I mean, it's 50-50. I think view-wise and just like overall, I'll probably just do a quick recap, you know, 5-10 minutes long, And then if you want to watch the live execution, you can go to the live stream that was recorded, and I'll have chapters in there. You can jump straight to it and skim around. That should be the play. And I have some short form being worked on as well. So that's gonna be like consistent. We'll show like trade executions and golden nuggets from the streams. Like all the little like mini lessons that we talk about on these streams will be chopped up. And maybe we'll do like a highlight video every week on like Saturday of like best moments of the streams, whether it's trades, education, things like that. Which one's stronger, ES or NQ and Y? NQ stronger just off what I'm seeing because YM is dragging down. Like think about it. What is ES? It's the S&P 500. 500 top companies, right? What's NQ? Got 100 companies in it. YM, the Dow, 30 companies, right? So ES is made up of both companies that are in NASDAQ and YM. So when YM goes down and NQ goes up, ES is chopping sideways because it's the weight of the companies in it, right? Some are going up, some are going down, so it's going to chop sideways, right? This is the overall market. But if they're all in sync, those are the best conditions to trade, right? But if they're not correlated, if these correlated assets are trading in opposite directions, then there's no correlation. It's just not high probability. It's hard to read. I'm going to close the poll in a second. If you have a strong opinion on which videos you like, drop it in the chat. Vote on the poll. It's basically 50-50. But I think what I'm leaning on doing is, like I said, get rid of that. I think I'm just going to do an 5 to 10 minute trade recap after trades on the days we take trades, losing or winning, break even. And then if you want to see the actual live entry exit management in real time, you can go to the stream recording and I'll have it time stamped on there. So you can quickly jump to it and all that. Because if you're wanting to watch that, then you're probably like in deep learning mode and you have the attention span to sit down and like watch a full live stream. But if you're kind of just scrolling YouTube, you're not, and you see like an hour-long video, that's a commitment. And people got TikTok brain these days. They don't want to sit there and watch an hour-long video unless they're in the mood. So they're probably not going to click it. I think that's the play. TikTok is destroying society. It's also why I think most people can't trade because they can't sit here and focus. They can't sit here and focus. Their attention span is so low. Like I find myself getting fatigued, not because I have brain rot, you know, but like just being able to lock in here for like from like 8-ish to like 11:30-ish. You're fully locking in and you're putting on risk, trying to analyze the market in real time for a few hours nonstop. Like it can take it out of you. That's why it's important to take breaks. That's why I also don't trade the afternoons. Like most of the move for the day happens in the morning. You know, you have 9:30 volatility, 8:30 news, 10 o'clock new 4-hour candle, sometimes 10 o'clock news. And the afternoons are pretty barren. The move's already played out. So I just don't really see a lot of value in trading the afternoon, especially if I already got a trade off in the morning. Like, what do I give it back and get greedy? Yeah, most people who are watching, they're probably already here in the live sessions anyways, and they're seeing the trades. Yeah, like I'm not gonna be in these recaps going, this is what a candle 2 closure is. Like you should already know that stuff. I'm not teaching basics here. But I will like point it out, right? We've come back in that gap. Still SMT at these like 5-minute lows down here. Do I use 2-stage SMT? No, I don't even know what that is. I'm assuming it's when like this is SMT and like maybe some other SMT. But no, I should just keep it simple, dude. Simplicity scales, complexity fails, right? I just use fair value gaps, highs and lows, and like order blocks for entry. Like that's it. I can see why some people might want to long this right here. If we close above this down close candle series right here, we've opened up into the T spot, respected 50% of the previous candle. You have SMT at the lows. I can see why some people might want to do this. But personally, me, I'm not going to touch it because this candle 2 closure here, not at a POI. If you look at the hourly, this closure has not hit, swept out a low, hit a fair value gap, right? It's just closed below. Or swept out this candle's low and closed back up. So there's no swing low it's taken out. There's no POI this closure happened inside of. I'm not interested in it. But we can see how this plays out. You didn't even get the closure here. Right? You just wicked that high. Came back in the range. So that's what I'm saying. I'm not looking to pattern trade this indicator. You need to zoom out and sit on the higher time frames until they give you a reason to drop lower. And we got 61 likes on the stream. I appreciate you guys. Banger. Not doing much so far this morning. Just fine. Let Monday set the stage for the rest of the week. That's what it wants to do. But just consolidation, manipulation, looking for that distribution, honestly. Still with that bullish bias. People talking about silver. Gold's not doing much. Silver's not really doing much. I think oil's ready to sell off. You're about to get a candle 2 closure off these highs. So Monday, high week. Classic expansion week down to the lows. To all these failure swings. Big figure 100 right here at these lows as well. I mean, zoom out on oil. It's kind of, it's crazy to look at like the daily candles on oil over here and then compare it to what it is now. Moving like 10% in a day. Like, dude, look at the range on this candle. This day was 33% range. That's insane. There's never been a day like that, I think. Ever. Oh, wait. I'm capping. This is a week. Hold on. I think we just gapped down. Never mind. This is when oil went negative. It was gold. We never had a day like that on gold. On this drop here. 13% a day. Yeah. Insane. How do I define a pattern trade versus a good trade? So like a actual like trade of following your system, because if you're pattern trading, then you're not following your system. The system is all about aligning the phases of price expansion in one direction. That's when you get those one-sided moves, right? So if you're just sitting on a 3-minute trying to trade every single setup that paints, you know, and you're missing the higher time frame context of what we went over this morning, bias, daily profiles, key points of interest, news. Like if you're not even worried about all that and you're just sitting here pattern trading on a 1-minute chart, every single little candle closure, then you're missing the idea. And that's why you're losing. But you need to know like the difference between a good trade, a bad trade, a good loss, a bad loss. Because like you can follow all your rules, still lose, and that's a good loss, right? Like I took a good loss last week. I entered right at 9:30 on a 5-minute, or not right at 9:30. Right before 9:30, the low got wicked out. It wicked me out, and then it ran to my target, right? So that's just the volatility getting me out. But the idea was still valid. It still played out. I just got wicked out. So that's a good loss. Just trading my system when the setup appears, when it aligns with my bias. A bad loss would be you FOMO'd into this, move right here that was running at the highs because you were like, oh, I don't want to miss out. Everyone making money. I want to get in. You just disrespect your system, take a trade, and then you get chopped up for a loss up in here. Like that's a bad loss. You break a rule, you FOMO in, you strategy hopping, right? You're not trading your edge. Like I said, what good is having an edge in the market if you don't apply it and use it? A good win would be you follow all your rules, everything's aligned, you get a dub, right? That was last Thursday. A bad win would be you break your rules and you still make money. And all that's doing is building bad habits. It's like, oh, I made money last time I did this. I'm going to break that rule again, So for instance, that would be like, I give myself 2 trades a day, right? Maybe I take 2 losses, But damn, I just need to step away. But then on that 3rd trade, I win, get back break even on the day. That's still a bad win because I broke my rules. I know that if I took a 3rd loss, I'm more likely to go on tilt because I just know myself, right? Or maybe you deviated from your system, you FOMO'd in, or you didn't wait for a candle closure, right? You didn't wait for confirmation above this 4-hour closure. Let's say I hopped in early. Stop here, I'm in long now. And I haven't waited for this 4-hour candle to be confirmed and close above here. And it played out, right? That's a bad win because I'm not waiting for that lower time frame confirmation that I need before I can look for the trade, right? Because I need that confirmation to know that this low is now protected. And this is actually a true swing point that I can trade away from. So that would be a bad win. I made money, but I'm building bad habits. So if you can't identify all 4 of those things, good win, bad win, good loss, bad loss, you need to work on that. Hope that helps. Like if I took this setup here long, that I pointed out earlier, because we have this candle 2 closure here, SMT, right? With this 1-hour candle closure, there's no POI there, right? This closure didn't sweep out a low, right? This swing hadn't swept out a low, it didn't dip into an imbalance, right? It's just inside this range. Let's say I took this right here, longed it on this closure here, and now I'm looking for expansion, and it played out. That's a bad win because I'm building bad habits. I'm not following my system. This needs to dip into a POI. Let's say I took this trade and now it reverses on me and stops me out. It stops with this low. It stops me out. Reverses on me. That's a bad loss, right? And people ask me, like, how do you, like, I like how you're calm when you take a loss. Like, it doesn't really affect you. Because I know I'm taking a good loss. It's the bad losses that mess with my mind, right? It's the fact that I knew I shouldn't have done that, but I did it anyways, and I lost. Like, now I can't trust myself, and it makes me not want to trade with size. I get hesitant now because I'm like, oh, I can't trust myself. Like, I break my own rules, you know? Just keeping it real. The reason you're not confident in your analysis is because you break your own rules. And now you can't trust yourself. And because you can't trust yourself, you don't trust your analysis. And you're just in this endless loop, right? You need to get out of it. So yeah, thanks for coming to my TED Talk. Don't get me started, man. Don't get me started. I think my last red month was probably end of like December last year. That's when price action got really shitty. Like, bro, like this was tough. We went from the tariff stuff and we chopped for like, I guess you could say the chop started around here, like October. Finally sold off out of the low of the range to manipulate it and go higher to the other side of the range here. I mean, that took like 150 something days. And then it only took, to get back to all time high, it only took 17 days. Isn't that crazy? We're chopping for like half a year. And then we just one-sided up in 17 days. So yeah, like think about it. I'm trading a continuation model. So I want to see some type of like follow through on moves like we're seeing here. But when you're in this, dude, there's no follow through. You're having candle closures and then you're immediately disrespecting it. Like candle to closure here, disrespect it, right? It's just all back and forth over the place. You know, it's tough. So if you don't know what kind of conditions that your model thrives in, then you're going to probably take a red month if you hit the gas. And sometimes you don't know that you're in a choppy, you know, consolidation yet, you know, because we're still like kind of doing some up and down here. But then we start getting into here around December, you know, the start of December is right here. You're not seeing a lot of follow through anymore. And so you don't realize that until you're like, okay, I got to step back. Are we in a trending environment? Are we in a consolidation now? So like you're going to have red months sometimes. You're not going to realize that you're in a higher time frame consolidation until it's a little too late, right? Just name of the game. And think about it, December, not only are we in consolidation in the higher time frames, but it's like holidays back to back. You got Thanksgiving, you got Christmas, whatever you celebrate. A lot of people are taking time off, end of the year. It's just, I shouldn't even been trading. I don't think I'm ever going to trade December again. I told myself that last year too, and I still did it because I'm an addict. I'm a degen. Yeah, look for a swing. You look for it to form in a POI. Pretty much, yeah, lower than a daily chart. I'm looking for intraday trade. Like even better though if we have a closure like this, see, off an imbalance, gives me even more confidence to go long. Because like, okay, we dipped into the POI on the daily chart, and what you'll see is you'll usually see the follow through or the reaction out of that POI the next day, right? So we get the POI being hit today. You see the follow through reaction the next day. Because we get the candle closure, then we get the small wick expansion candle the next day. That's why I say like Monday kind of sets the stage for the rest of the week, depending on how we close. We could very well just kind of chop around in this range. We purged a low, came back in the range. Maybe we just chop around a bit, maybe sweep some highs. But we don't really expand because the daily range has already been, used up today. And so what is this day looking like? It doesn't look like a classic expansion day to go long. It looks like a reversal candle day with a long wick right here. Reversal days have long wicks. Expansion days have small wicks. Right? We're just hanging out right at opening price on the day. Bring your pen, bring your notepad. Because we drop in some heat. You might not like get it all at once, but if you keep coming to my stream, I'm going to keep saying it over and over. So just keep showing up. Keep coming to the live streams. Because I'm a broken record at this point. I'm just going to keep saying it. I think it helps new people too who haven't been in here before. Because I can't. And it's like, it might get old for you guys who were in here since the beginning. Like Tyler's in here, like Leo, like all these people. They've been in like almost every stream for the past month. And they hear me say it like almost every day. But it's good because I'm drilling it into your head. And eventually, you're going to get it. Just repetition, just reps. Just like you're getting reps in the chart, pushing the button. You get to see my analysis every morning. But if you're just here to copy trade and you're just tuning me out, then you're doing yourself a disservice. What happens when I stop streaming? I don't plan on streaming until I'm 80 years old. I could, who knows? But like, eventually, just being realistic, I'll probably have kids, a wife. Like I don't know if I'll be streaming when I'm a grandpa. Like who knows? So what happens when I stop? You want to be independent, don't you? Yeah, like some days you don't get to choose when you make your money for the week, for the month, for the year. As a trader, you just got to be ready when it presents itself. That's the one thing I had to learn. Like the number one thing I had to learn when I went full time is like, you don't get to choose when you make your money for the year. And some years are slower than others. Some months are slower than others. So we're kind of watching this imbalance too on YM. I mean, today's just kind of looking like a set the stage day off this imbalance. We'll get a candle closure too probably here today is what I'm hoping. SMT at some lows for the week. Candle closure here off this imbalance as well to set the stage for small wick expansion candle tomorrow. Why not long yet? Where am I gonna long from? What's the setup? You can long. I'm not gonna long. What am I missing out on right now? Chop? No thanks. There's no like swing point to trade away from. Not on a 1 hour, not on a 4 hour that's been confirmed. Not on a 30-minute, not on a 15-minute. So where's the setup? I don't see it. Can we get to 69 likes? We're at 66. Who can get us to 69? Tess says, I don't see it either. We want to touch grass. Always smart. Confirmation for a swing. Let's see if I can find an example. Like right when the new daily candle opens. Let's see if I might be able to just draw it out. Let's say we close like this, candle 2, and we open up, right? Let's say we put in a projected swing, and then the daily candle closes. So you get a new daily candle. I'll draw in a second, but we close, and then the new day opens, and we kind of dip down towards these down closed candles here. There's a projected swing right here. You can just enter right at the new daily open, or wait for put a limit to come down and test it, then swing overnight, right? So let's say the new day opens like right here. Like right here, you know. New day opens, close above. That confirms this as a protected low. Like so. You can enter on a limit on a 1 hour chart and just hold overnight to previous day high. That would be like a perfect, like almost like a positional entry, a limit entry using this protected swing on the hourly. Because you're anticipating that the day's going to open, you're going to form that lower wick into this POI or to the down close candles. This low is going to hold and the daily candle's going to expand, right, to the upside. Like so. That would be like your perfect, picture perfect, like swing where you enter around like 6-ish to like maybe all the way up to like 10 o'clock at night. And then by then I'm in bed, so I miss it if that happened. That hasn't happened yet, right? But I see those things, the potential for them to form when I do my analysis every night around like 6, 7 o'clock, or later in the afternoon or evening. But like I don't get like I don't get like the dopamine from like just taking trades anymore. It's all about just following the system. It's like, oh damn, that was a sick setup. I did everything right. The analysis all lined up. I pushed the button, didn't hesitate, and it played out. Like boom, that's like the best feeling ever. Or even if you take a loss, but you followed your trade plan and your system, everything was aligned, and you still took an L, it is what it is. Like you don't feel as bad about the loss because you know you did everything you could. And when you push the button, it's not up to you anymore if the trade's gonna work out or not. You're just paying money to see if the setup's gonna work or not. That's all it is. But the setup has to be like your edge in the market. It can't just be a random idea, you know? See, like this thing, it closed above, but it's not doing shit. Because this thing, this low, like there's no POI that it dipped into, you know? That's what kept me out of it. So we're still in this little choppiness. One payout ain't cutting it. Think about what it takes to get a payout, though. I think just off like my funded futures a few years ago, they came out with some stats and were sharing their stats that they saw in their company. Out of all the people who buy an account at that firm, only 4% of people who even purchase an account just once. Remember, they're purchasing multiple accounts. But if you buy an account there and you purchase one account at minimum, you have a 4% chance. That's what they say. They saw 4% of people from purchasing an account to actually getting a payout. Anything. Could be $5, could be whatever, right? From purchase to payout, they saw 4% of people were getting payouts. And that's not even people consistently profitable, just making it to the payout, making it to get a payout. That's 4 people out of 100 people. So if you can get yourself a payout, you're in that 4%. Now it's all about repeating it, right? So that just goes to show how hard it is to get a payout. That was a few years ago, and the rules might have changed, right? But if you can get to the payout stage, you have what it takes. It's just about repeating it. So, like, don't get discouraged that you got one payout. Oh, it's not enough money. Like, bro, you're in that 4%. It's probably worse now. The rules probably got harder. I don't know, depending on the company you're with. But oh, let's go. We smashed it. 69 likes achieved. We're at 72. Let's go. Good work. If we can hit 100 before the end of the stream, that'd be dope. We're going to do a giveaway also. Giveaway at end of stream. Giving away one of these. Yeah, if you're scared to lose, then you're going to hesitate. You're going to like basically hesitate on your setups and second guess yourself, yada yada. But you should understand that like you have an edge. And you're trading it if you're trading from a place of scarcity or fear, you're not going to make it. But if you're trading from a place of abundance, the abundance mindset, then these setups happen every week. Money always comes and goes. Like the money, I've made money for quick. It can leave just as fast, right? Just numbers on a screen. So it's like you have to have that abundance mindset. But if you're trading from a place of scarcity or fear, that's why it's very important to have like, if you're going to trade full time, make the jump, to have money saved up that we don't need to rely on trading to pay your bills every month, right? Have like a year's worth of expenses saved up. Or a job that's paying your bills. Let your job pay your bills until you can make double what you make at your job from trading. Then you can think about quitting. And the market's going to take whatever money you got if you're trading from a place of scarcity. Because now you're trading not to lose instead of trading to win. If you're trading to not lose, you're going to get crushed. But if you're trading to win, following your rules, being process focused instead of profit and loss focused, then you're going to crush it. What's up, Uka? Ukaz Socha? Yeah, I'm not sure what GXT is. I think maybe that's one of his buddies or something. But yeah, the fractal model is great. Super simple, mechanical, everything you need, in my opinion. I was already trading it pretty, without even using the indicator. I was already kind of doing something similar. Change state delivery, all that. Everybody got highs and lows, really. That's it. But when I started using the higher time frame candle closures, that's like when it really helped. So this thing looks like it wants to run. See a nice little reaction there. SMT at these lows off this imbalance. Gold just kind of in the range. Oil not doing much. Yeah. Day trading is not everyday trading. They shouldn't call it trading. They should call it waiting. We ain't trading. We waiting. Damn, if this candle had come into a POI, dude, one, I think you see a lot more speed from this move. Wouldn't have had the steep retracement. But two, we can maybe be in a trade right now for longs, but it's unfortunate. And it's even nicer. It's even better because we had SMT down here. It's just we never came into a POI. You know? It is what it is. I need everything to align before I hop in. I'm not going to break a rule and skip a step. You know? Because if I do, I'm building a bad habit if it makes money. And if I lose, it's like, damn, I broke a rule and I lost. Like, it makes me not want to trust myself in the future, right? And when you're trading heavy size, you know, like I'm trading 5K per trade position size, like of my own money, you know? So when you want to start sizing heavier, you're more hesitant on your trades because you're like, damn, I'm trading like really heavy size now. So every action you take has more weight to it. And it makes you not want to trust yourself and size up, you know? Why I'm hit a POI on the 1 hour? Where? In this closure? Where's the POI? All I see is a wick right here. The swing low's down here. There's no imbalance in here. There's no swing low that it swept out. Yeah, so this is now a protected low in my eyes. So you want to see like maybe put in a 15-minute imbalance here, right? Some down close candles form. Then we can look to like maybe hop it on a 15-minute. Like this, you know, and take a trade. Somewhat like this. That's what we want to see. We need to see some down close candles dip into a POI to put in a protected low that we can now trade away from and use as our invalidation for a swing. Sorry, not a swing. Trade or a stop loss. Yeah, SMT. I just said the SMT down at these lows, you know. But for the 1 hour closure, 5-minute entry, there's no POI that this closure dipped into. Touched. Corn. 2800s right here. New all-time high at these highs. I feel like if we didn't have that news right at 6, like maybe we would have gotten some kind of nice like manipulation down here and gotten a nice reversal setup around like 10 o'clock. Off these consolidation lows, off this imbalance on the daily. If we didn't just dump right at 6 off some like tweet, we could have had maybe a nice intraday reversal, New York reversal that we, or New York manipulation, whatever you want to call it, to go long off of. But because it happened like overnight, basically, or pre-market, we just kind of chopped into the open. It's kind of annoying. Like, there's not even a 30-minute closure in here that I like. I don't even see a 15-minute in here that I like. Right? There's nothing. It makes you want to get on side yet. And drop lower for entry. Yeah, I mean, I could easily see it taking out high. Think about all the people who went short when they saw this move. Oh, we're breaking down. Trick their ass. Time to go get their stop loss orders. Yeah, people have been short since this move. Since we put in this swing point. Their orders are all pending, right? Yeah, you had to wait for confirmation. Do I go to the 1 to 2 like T-Trace talks about? Do you go for the 1 to 2? Yeah. 2R minimum. I'm usually just doing fixed R multiples. Sometimes I'll hold runners to like liquidity targets. But usually I'm not taking a trade unless it's 2R minimum. And I'm only taking 2 trades a day usually. Because everyone makes mistakes, right? And also, you could take a good trade, get wicked out, and then look to re-enter. We bounce back. What day was that? We took a loss in the morning. Oh, it was the idea where I got wicked out at the open. It played out, right? So we took a good loss, and then I waited till like 11:20, or sorry, 10:20. Then got on side with a short on a different asset. So we tried to long NQ, got wicked out at the open, played out. Then we went to short ES. What day was it? On this move right here. Candle 2 closure here. Short ES down to low a day. So we tried to long in the retracement, right? Then we had the candle 2 closure. I waited. 10:20 entered. Short. Got the dub, right? So I always give myself 2 shots because you can make mistakes. We're all human. You can get wicked out on a good trade. It happens. But I'm usually going, take a majority of the position off at 2R. I'll hold runners and I'll move stop break even using protected swings, or just right when we hit my first target, I'll go break even. Do you trade reversals or continuations? I trade continuations. Normally. I like to let the reversal form, like on this day here, let this candle close, and then trade the next day, where it's just one-sided, easy. I don't like to call tops and bottoms, generally. I'd rather just let the top or bottom form and trade the continuation. That's why trading over here in December was so tough, because all you were really getting were like reversals. And not a lot of follow through. But I'm trying to get better. Like, there's 2 things that I'm mainly working on this year. Is picking the right asset to trade. Is it ES, NQ, or YM? Based on strength or weakness, to give my trades a higher probability of playing out. Because the mistakes I make aren't rule-based anymore. Like, I follow my rules. It's about picking the right asset now to increase my win rate, right? Increase the profitability. And then I'm also trying to dabble with trading candle 2s, right? So trading this candle here, trading the reversal, you know. And one thing you can do is look for some kind of SMT at daily lows to do that. But generally, if you're going to have a candle 2 that's actually, I only like trading those if it's a candle 2 that's going to expand, right? So instead of trading like a reversal, unless we have a nice swing point, trading a small wick candle 2, like this day. This day opened up, created kind of a smaller wick, huge body, right? So looking to trade those days that actually expand candle 2 versus a more of a wicky long wick reversal day. And so I'm trying to get better at doing those this year. Yeah, and people are like, oh, aren't you worried your edge is going to like, AI is going to take your edge away? It's like, nah, because the market can't reverse without a swing point. So we're chilling. It'll never change. We in this for life. We tapped in for life, you know? The algo, it'll never change. Guys, did you know that ICT coded the algorithm? That's insane. Crazy, dude. Yeah, a little slow grind. This thing's not doing much. This thing just looks like your typical broadening. Purging one side of the range, going for the other. You're seeing kind of choppy strength here. Not really moving quick. You got that 4-hour closure, which is nice. If you're like a kind of like a positional trader or like a short term like swing trader, I'd be looking at this closure above a 1 hour right here. Maybe looking to put a stop. Like this almost looks like your breaker, you know. If this is gonna be low of the week, might be able to find some way to put your stop like either at 50% of the wick or the low or whatever. But if you're looking to capture like the weekly move, those are here in 5 minutes. And just like anticipate this day being low of the week and just hold all week, you know? But that's not like the types of trades that I take. Because I don't swing, really. Unless it's like right when the daily candle opens overnight. Quick little swing. Now you can kind of see like how you can use weekly profiles and daily closers and POIs to like position yourself in not only the daily candle, but also the weekly candle if you're going to swing. It's just these types of trades happen less often because you don't get the clean daily structure as often. You got to wait longer. So your frequency goes down. What's up, Carson? Late good morning. All right. If we get to 100 likes, I'll do the giveaway right now. If we can get to 100 likes. We're at 77. We need 20-ish more people to just hit a button. All right, now we're at 81. We need 19 more people to just hit a button on their computer. All right. I'll do the giveaway right now if we can get 100 likes right here on stream. I'm literally going to go ahead and pull it up right now. Dashboard. Look. Look, giveaway. Oh. Where'd it go? We're at 86 right now. I'll run it right now. Don't tip me. Don't tip me with a good time. Do it. Do it. Can a 2-bar SMT be valid? I saw that there was that on the 15-minute between MQ and MES. I'm not sure what a 2-bar SMT is. 15-minute. Look, this thing looks like it wants to fail now, right? Like, if you took this trade, which I didn't because there's no POI on this closure, you'd be sitting through all this shit. Basically back at entry now. Yeah, annoying. And like, I'm trying to like back test a little bit how instead of using, if there's no POI, right, for a protected swing to form, what about using like order blocks as a POI? Because right now I'm only using highs, lows, and fair value gaps. I need to get some data on order blocks. Like right here in this leg, there's no fair value gap or swing low being swept out, but there is a valid order block, right? So it's this order block split up to low and inside of an imbalance. Here's the opening price. You can see we hit it multiple times. I'm trying to get it some data on like if this is actually plausible to use as a POI or not. Order blocks. Because then you could take a 15-minute trade, right? But obviously this is pre-market and right at open. But you see what I'm trying to say. Is that enough to use? All right, let's set the likes. We're at 87, 89. So I only trade high time from candle 3 and candle 4. Pretty much. That's my focus. But I'll also look, I'm trying to get better at trading the candle 2s. That reverse, you know, that are going to be expansion reversal candles, like this one. I already talked about it. Where the day opens up and immediately makes the wick and then comes back inside the range. If it's got to be a small wick, though. If it's just a really long wick, then I'm not really interested. Like this day. Or really today. It needs to be a small wick candle, too. And it's even better if there's SMT. Like we had here, you know? So that's what gave me confidence to long this intraday on YM. All right, we're at 90 likes. 10 more. We're going to run this giveaway. 10 more likes. We're going to give away one of these. So look, now you have this candle 2 closure at a POI, right? What makes this a POI? Well, we've dug into this imbalance right here. And now you're starting to see this thing sell. So this trade that I pointed out didn't work out, right? There's no POI. This closure happened inside of. And you have these lows down here. $92. All right, who just removed a like? I saw it go down. It's 91 now. $93. Getting close. I know there's some people in here who have been in most of the streams and haven't said a word in the chat, which is fine. But also haven't liked the stream, and that's kind of fucked up. Oh, the 2-bar SMT. Yeah, like if you're just going to use like, if there was SMT on a day we took a trade here and here, and also this day, those lows right here. That's enough. Yeah, it doesn't have to be like swing point SMTs like this. Like if we had SMT at this high and this high, and then NQ made a lower high, yeah, I use SMT there. $96 likes. Get late in the morning too. Need 3 more and we're gonna run the giveaway. And I got some prop accounts in the works, you know, for you guys as well. Those just kind of take a minute to get set up. And the Discord is being built, right? In the background. What else we got? Some other surprises too, but those are coming later. Ooh. But someone is going to get, we need 2 more. Someone's going to get access to this for a month for free. Yeah, I might have a few people in the Discord who've been like regular viewers, and if they want to help moderate it, keep people in check, that's great. I'm also having some like automated moderation tools being built as well to make my life easier. Keep the Discord like not toxic, because I don't want it to be like a place where people are like just trash talking, you know, being menaces, right? Degens. I want to make it like a good like place to hang out. Because right now the only place for you guys to hang out is when I'm live. This is gonna be like the hub. I see 99. Where's the last guy? He said, "Good luck with that." It's either we're really strict with the ban hammer, or I have some really good mods and moderation in there. All right, bro. I'm showing 99 likes. I don't know what y'all were talking about. Oh, never mind. I see it. 100. Boom. There we go. Yeah, we have Thor on the moderation team, or we just let people run wild, which I don't want. So let me pull up the giveaway. All right. Um, let's do this. Check the chat. Keyword is trade. Giveaway is trade. Oh, wait. There we go. I need to make this actually over here. Keyword, giveaway, trade. Boom. So you can see, guys, if you're in, you've been entered to win, right? Right here. You can see it populate. So all you got to do is put it in there once, and you'll be locked in. You want to spam it, you can spam it. Probably not going to do anything. What am I giving away? Giving away this indicator, a month free. I'll draw an arrow. We'll give some people the time to check in. But as I said, if Jack Sear wins again, we'll just give it to somebody else. Or, I mean, technically, it's like, if he wins again, dude's just lucky. But, I mean, you did win the giveaway. So it's like, yeah, you won last time, but you also have another free month you can use after that one expires. If he wants to, if he wins again, we'll give him the option to pass it to someone else, or he can keep it. I mean, it's just fair, honestly. You win back to back. Same thing with prop accounts. Like when we give away prop accounts, you can win accounts back to back. I don't care. You want to take your name off? I doubt you'll win it again, but we'll see. Give him my GT4RS. I don't know about that. You probably don't want to even like. Dude, the gas is on it is crazy. It's like $5 a gallon right now. All right. I'm going to close it in 3 minutes. 2.5 minutes. We got 30-something people in here. Think about it. If you're new to the stream, one, welcome. Make sure you drop a like, subscribe. We're running a giveaway right now. But two, your odds of winning something in my stream versus someone else's who has like $1,000. Sorry, not $1,000. 1,000, watchers, viewers, whatever. There's 34 people in this giveaway right now. If you went to someone else's stream who has like thousands of viewers, there's probably gonna be a few hundred, right? So you're way more likely to win something here than elsewhere. But you got about a minute 30 before I close this. I hope you guys like the new thumbnail too. Again, you can see your name in here. I'll scroll it so you can see. If you're in, you're in. All right, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I'm about to cut it. I see some last minute people entering. 36. 3, 2, 1, choosing. Yusuf. Yusuf is the winner. 1 in 37. You in here? Drop me a message. If you're watching and you won, drop me a message on Instagram or X. Either one. I'll check both. Just let me know in the chat which one you're going to do it if you are the winner. If you can. Cool. Let me know which one you want to reach out on. X or Instagram. And I'll check. And I'll give you the code for 100% off for the first month. And I'll give you the link to go and redeem it as well. But for everybody else, don't worry. We do giveaways every week. And eventually we'll have some prop accounts to give away as well. But so far we've given away TradeZilla subscriptions, indicator subscriptions. We'll have some prop stuff coming down the pipeline. And then maybe we'll even give away some other stuff too. But for now, today has been kind of a lackluster Monday, which was expected. We haven't done much, as you can see. I think today's really going to set the stage for the rest of the week. See how we close today. So, anyways, that is the giveaway. Yusuf, reach out to me on Instagram or X. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Tomorrow we do have some news, actually. We got 10 a.m. news. So maybe we'll get a nice juicy setup tomorrow at 10 a.m. But all in all, thanks for stopping by. If you're new here, subscribe. If you're regular, like the stream. Helps me out in the world of algorithms and YouTube and stuff. So appreciate it. I'll catch you guys tomorrow. Peace out.